We are back with a very important video, and it's almost a warning regarding the patch that's coming, right? It's right around the corner, and before you know it, you're going to turn on UFL no matter what rank you are. Maybe you're on a hot streak, maybe you just got promoted, whatever it may be, but you're going to turn on the game and it's going to be totally different. And I'm very confident it will be for the better. I think this patch is going to be a huge turning point in the game. I think you're going to see the content creators hype it up because the L1 triangle switch will be gone. The lob crosses to Holland and the other big strikers, Darwin Nunez, for those who can't afford Holland. We all know about the typical abused mechanics in the game that have overtaken it. Something that's developed that I've seen more and more lately, I believe, as players are adamant about getting promoted to the point where they'll score a goal and literally pass the ball around for 2/3 of the game. So that's a new development of abused mechanic, if you will, considering there isn't proper constant pressure tactics like in EAFC. So hopefully they've added that to the list if it wasn't already on there. But even if they didn't, there's no doubt they will address it because something like that can absolutely ruin the game. The thing you have to realize with those type of players, right, and the same with the ones that aren't even trying to get ready for the patch, right? And the reason why I'm showing you these particular games is I kind of go back and forth. There's some opponents where you have no choice. Like the way they're playing, you have to pretty much match that. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to compete. There's other games where maybe you're outskilling your opponent. You get up by a few goals. You can play football and beat them. You just kind of have to feel it out. You have to go both routes. It will be amazing when the patch comes and you no longer have to worry about playing a specific way to kind of match your opponent, right? But for now, I pretty much have one setup that has the ability to abuse mechanics. Another setup I really enjoy using that will be probably my first formation after the new patch, just based on my anticipation of what it will be like. Then I have another constant pressure to try to battle those who score a goal and then decide not to play the game for the rest of the time. So that's just what we have to deal with for now. Don't let those type of players ruin the game for you, because just realize they're not going anywhere. It's always funny to me because most all of these players that literally have no skill, that are trying to just abuse mechanics, not only is it amazing to think about the fact that once the patch happens, they're going to be lost, but even without that, I always notice they're always low division and bad record. Low division is fine. Bad record is fine for those players who are working to improve, and it will pay off as they get better. But for those players who are doing all these basically cheats, the fact that they're not even good, it doesn't get them anything. They're still, again, low division, bad record, right? So if you're a player that's working to improve and you're not happy with your division or record, that's fine. You're working to improve. The players who are literally cheating, essentially, and still go nowhere, but they still spend their time cheating, there's nothing more embarrassing than that, right? That's all I'm trying to say. But what I want you to realize is that it is absolutely worth your time, if you're going to be playing UFL after the patch, to put some time in now to practicing passing the ball, moving the ball, working on scoring without the OP glitches, right? If every one of your goals is a lob cross, you need to get ready for not having that. If every single one of your attacks is built on an L1 triangle switch, you need to get ready to not have that in the game, right? And so on and so forth. Everyone will have some rust to shake off, right? Because, for instance, even I use it when I have to, the L1 triangle switch. Sometimes you have several games in a row where you have to use it, the abuse of mechanics just based on your opponent. Now, for those players who just refuse no matter what to use those type of mechanics, hats off to you. I feel like at the end of the day, I want to win. I'm competing, so I'm going to use what I have to, in the meantime. But I absolutely can't stand it, and so every chance I get, I will try to play regular football and try to win. With corners, I have to just see what the patch looks like before I switch up my set pieces. So for those, for now, yes, I know they're OP, but until we really see kind of what's what with corners, that is going to remain the same, at least for me, right? Gameplay, though, slowly but surely working in good interplay, building the ball from my defense through to my midfield, through to my strikers, right? Now, the 5-2-3, as many of you know, has been my bread and butter formation. That absolutely can be used to play good football, right? I may even do a revamped tactic breakdown on that with examples of passing patterns to use to create chances. But I also have a 4-5-1 that is extremely attacking despite what it looks like. The only reason it's not as viable with these, pre-patch, I should say, is because defensively, I just can't stand in a 4-back all the room and attack, an opposition gets when they just don't deserve it. They could have zero of the, nothing as far as possession, right? Just getting outplayed, and then they get a lucky bounce or get the ball somehow, and just one press of a button, and now they're in a dangerous scoring, situation. And that's really the biggest reason why I love the 5-back. The 5-2-3 works great overall, but in particular, the 5-back is, in my opinion, the best way to combat those L1 triangle switches, which I've gone over in several videos. So the main point of this video, work on your interplay. Work on building the ball up from your back line all the way into a scoring opportunity, right? Work on different passes. I just did my passing masterclass video. Watch that. Work on different passes and when to utilize them, where to utilize them. Because remember, large portion of your passes have been these, especially, players who have used it like I have, right? When and where they needed, which was because it's such a high percentage chance of success, it's a vast majority of the time going to be the pass you use. So that means your other passes are going to be rusty because you haven't used them that much. If you rewind through the gameplay in the background, you see several times where there were certain passes where I made mistakes, and it's just a thing where you're going to have to shake off the rust. That's essentially the consequence of this L1 triangle meta that we've had, right? But take your time, keep grinding, keep working on it, right? You should be excited. Yes, it's going to be frustrating, some of these games where, if you would have used maybe the OP mechanics, you would have had a few more goals or maybe a victory that was a tie or even a victory that was a loss. It's okay because in the long run, it will be rewarding, right? So I just wanted to send that out as sort of a public service announcement. And until next time, keep grinding and have a good one.